Hello, guys. In today's episode of the Thing is Infinite podcast, we talk about some St. Patrick's Day stuff. And Joe,
we discuss we talk about Walmart, their new fast food, and we discuss a new movie with a special guest. So stay tuned for that. And on to the podcast. Hey, welcome to the Thinking is Infinite podcast with Joe.
And John.
And
Ryan.
And we are going to be doing a little St. Patrick's Day thing.
I love St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's a pretty good holiday.
Day, everybody.
It's on March 17th.
Day.
It is.
Sorry with the audio.
And
it's a
you know
little
what?
bad.
And you know what? Yeah. If you guys don't realize it on the podcast world, that I am remote today, and
Yes.
we are just days away from not only St. Patty's Day, but a big birthday in this crew.
Yep,
The
Joe's
16th
birthday.
Yep.
We may even do.
Joe's birthday is coming up the day before.
We may even do a segment with showing Joe's favorite birthday cakes.
Okay. That
Sounds
was
like
not
a
planned
cool
for in advance, but okay, we might do that.
Sounds like a good segment idea. But
Well,
on
didn't we
to
want
that.
to talk about now? Didn't we want to talk about things that we
That are
enjoy
green.
that are green on St. Patty's Day? On St.
Thanksgiving.
No. Yeah, we did.
I know.
Yes, we did. We would like to share some of the 3 things that we like that are green on St. Patrick's Day.
All right, so why don't you take it away?
Let's do it.
So, personally, a thing that I love is green bagels on St. Patrick's Day. There are so many bagel places. Even my school, they make green bagels on St. Patrick's Day, and they are really good.
I love green bagels. How about you, Joe? Do you like the green bagels, or do you stick with the plain?
I usually don't really care. They're really more like they're more for art than like for. But they do really impressive dyes. But I don't really. I just kind of like just eat a bagel.
Makes sense. Just eat a bagel.
Usually I eat it with like melted cheese or something.
The next
Now,
one we have.
But for breakfast, before we go on to the next one, for breakfast, does anyone put green eggs on the green bagel?
No.
That's just weird.
It is. That's why the green eggs and ham.
Yeah, that's why he didn't want to eat it.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan of green eggs. I don't think I've ever eaten green eggs and ham. Did you ever eat green eggs and ham?
No.
I thought they made that at like schools or something. Do they? Or
Right. Yeah,
Or is that like still a thing? I don't think it is.
I don't
Okay.
think it is.
Oops.
So what's your second one, right?
The second one we have is green milkshakes.
Dad's starting to glitch out, so I'll just interject in this one. I think that the odd thing about the green milkshake at McDonald's is that
mint.
it's mint. It's not just green food coloring. It's an actual mint milkshake. And
Which I don't really like.
yeah, I feel like it's a very unique type of idea, to make a milkshake green.
Idea,
It's just
but
like
it's just
more like that's more of a taste thing. But another thing that we think
No,
I
no,
think
wait.
Do you know why I glitched when you said it, Ryan?
What?
Because I'm lactose intolerant. I can't have a milkshake.
That was so bad. Okay,
but-
so the last one we have is green muffins.
yeah,
I thought we were talking about green icing.
the thing we could talk about both.
Yeah, let's talk about both. I don't really care. I have green muffins. So it's like basically the same thing as a McDonald's milkshake. It's like a mint muffin, which sounds weird to most people, but some people actually like it and enjoy it on St. Patrick's Day. But
Yeah, green is a very popular. People basically dye everything green. Honestly, I feel like a green muffin it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like other things when they're green, like they kind of make sense. Like the bagels being green, I don't really. It's like
a milkshake.
it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like when a muffin's green, it kind of looks like it came from like outer space or something. It's weird. Like
Or
I just
it's been
think.
sitting on the shelf too long.
Yeah, and we have another one.
Well, if it was like a
And
lot of
this-
green.
And this one is green icing, like you put on a cake or a cupcake.
That I like. But the only thing weird about that, did you ever have one of those and then you smile and all your teeth have all the dye in it?
Yes.
And stuff?
Yeah, I've had that with blue icing.
Yes, I did.
But I haven't really. I've never really made like a green icing cupcake or anything. But but I do kind of like blue icing stuff. And yeah, every time that you have it, your tongue will turn that color. So will turn the color of the icing.
Like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can just absorb all the color.
Yep. Well, that's it for.
So a St. Patty's Day tip for anyone who has green icing: make sure you go to the bathroom and check your teeth, and make sure you don't have green teeth, because then you're gonna look a little foolish, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to this segment, and on to my
St.
segment.
Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Hello, welcome to the St. Patrick's Day history segment. I'm here with Joe, but I'm probably going to be doing most of the talking today. Joe will put some additional stuff in. So let's get to it. So first, St. Patrick, I think he was born in, I don't know where he was born, but he was kidnapped to Ireland. He built many churches in Ireland. And a lot of people in Ireland liked him, and the Catholic Church made him a saint after he died. And then they made it a national holiday on March 17th. That's St. Patrick's Day. There are many St. Patrick's Day traditions. We have a segment, I don't know if it was before, after you're watching this one.
Before.
Probably before, but we had a segment before on like St. Patrick's Day foods that are dyed green. Like even the Chicago River is dyed green. They have so many gallons of food of dye to put into that river on St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. There are even like snacks that are on St. Patrick's Day, like Lucky Charms. That's a cereal. It's based on St. Patrick's Day. Most of it is. And St. Patrick, he was a very good saint. He also, in Ireland, there you have the four-leaf clover, you have the normal clover, shamrock, whatever it's called, whatever you want to call it. There's the white clover, which is mostly in Ireland. So I'm going to let Joe say a couple words about St. Patrick and who he was and some traditions that we do on St. Patrick here in America. So.
I don't really know too much about St. Patrick. I know that he was... I know obviously he was a saint, but I know he was from Ireland, but I don't really know exactly what he did. I do know some of the traditions, like, people have, like, they hunt for leprechauns, they do, like, step dancing,
Parades,
Irish dancing,
parades.
Irish bread.
St. Patrick's Day.
And that's really what I know about the holiday, but probably more to it than that.
Yeah, there's definitely more about that. This is, so it's kind of just a kind of a thing around there, so. And we will also have, we may or may not have an IRL segment today. So, you're going to just have to wait to the end, because we might not be able to do an IRL. But you'll see at the end if there's an IRL. There'll be an intro and outro and everything like that, so, yeah. And then we have an Encanto segment for you with Grace. And then we have the St. Patrick's Day stuff. So, what I like to do on St. Patrick's Day, and this time it's a Thursday, most people are in school, but St. Patrick's Day is probably one of my favorite holidays because I love green foods. Most things that are green I like. Not that big of a fan of mint, but like I always love searching for four-leaf clovers. They grow basically everywhere. Lots in fields. If like you have a big field of grass, like say if you're on a farm, like there's a big field of grass, there's usually clovers that spread around those areas. So I've seen so many four-leaf clovers. Yeah, and also, this is like kind of St. Patrick is probably one of the most recent saints that have become a thing. Like you obviously know St. Valentine. That's where Valentine's Day comes from. You have St. Joseph's Day, which is actually 2 days after St. Patrick's Day. Maybe 1 day, I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's some things about St. Patrick, who he was, what's the history, and my name is even Irish. Ryan means little king in Ireland. That's what that's what the name means. So we have lots of things about St. Patrick, and that's going to wrap up this segment. Then you'll be hearing, is the green foods before? The green foods before. Yeah. Before. So you'll be hearing the IRL.
My segment, and
you'll be hearing his segment. What's your segment?
Mine is actually going to be about certain things, what's been going on in not only fast food but also in retail. I've been very interested in that. So.
All right, well maybe I'll even join you for that segment.
Okay.
It's up to you. And that about wraps it up.
Hey, welcome to my segment, and we're going to be talking about a few things, a few interesting stories that I wanted to tell. So, first of all, let's talk about the Taco Bell situation. There are 2 new items coming back to Taco Bell, as many of you probably already know or might already know. The Mexican pizza, which I have heard of, but I don't know quite what it is. Then there's also the nacho fries.
I'm so excited for those to be back, by the way, because I love those. Those are so good.
Yeah, the nacho fries are really good, and they already are. They're already back.
Oh,
so
I should get those someday.
Yeah, probably when we next go, and that's actually something very interesting because their nacho fries are very unique. They have like this like nacho cheese like dust, so it's kind of like Doritos, but not quite Doritos. It's very hard to explain.
Doritos are fried.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to kind of explain it, but if you haven't really tried them. But it's also not quite accurate because it's a bit different than Doritos. It has like its own distinct taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's the closest thing I can compare it to, but
yeah, Doritos probably the closest thing you can compare it to. I don't even know what the Mexican pizza is. Is it like?
I think it's like
Italian pizza.
No, it's not. It's like I don't know. I can't quite tell you right now. I'm going to actually go look that up. But in another story, a little bit of a development in the fast food world. There's one very interesting thing about Wendy's, because Wendy's is going to be expanding into. They're going to be expanding breakfast into Canada. So. In the United States, breakfast is already offered at Wendy's. I don't know if many of you have tried it. I think it's pretty iffy. Yeah.
In the country, I think most people have heard of Wendy's before.
Yeah.
They're going to be expanding breakfast to Canada, which is good thing for the Maple Leaf.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to have the same as in the U.S. It's actually very interesting.
Ours is way different. You have like sausage, stuff like that. You have like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's another big thing. Their menu might be different depending on where they expand to, but I do think that adding breakfast in Canada is pretty interesting. I feel like they're trying to expand and compete with McDonald's.
McDonald's already has Canada in some other countries. They have most countries. I think they're in some stuff in South America, some stuff in Europe, Asia, stuff like that.
There's Wendy's actually doesn't have locations all across the world, but they do have some in Canada, and as why they're expanding their breakfast options there. They have, I think, around like 400 in Canada at the moment, and that they're trying to expand it. There are about I think 7 to 8,000 globally, but I think in the United States it's like 5,000, 6,000. Wendy's is it's pretty popular, and it's going to they're obviously going to try to expand, so we'll see how those go. And in the meantime, there's another interesting little story.
Interesting stuff going on. Fast food industry.
That's true, but there's also another thing going on where what actually is the retail industry. It's actually Walmart. Walmart is doing something very kind of innovative with its online shopping, where they're basically going to be having like models, and now these models are going to represent like different types of people with different heights, different body sizes, different skin tones, different everything. And these, basically, they're going to expand it to around 120 models, and you're going to, you can pick, a model to see how the clothes will most likely fit on you, which will make, which they say will make clothes shopping a bit easier, because you'll be able to see how that size of clothes will fit on you, and how it will, actually, if you put it on your body, because as you know, with clothes shopping online, you have to you have to try on the clothes at home. You have to wait for it to come. You have to try it on. If it doesn't fit, you have to return it back. It's this whole big thing. So by making it easier for people to buy clothes online, they really are trying to, I guess you could say, they're trying to get people to buy more online and get people just generally shopping online more. And it is a pretty interesting idea, because you can kind of see that Walmart and I don't know if other stores are going to do this or if it's going to catch on, but it really is kind of fascinating, really, to see your clothes on a model.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And what's more interesting is that they're putting more clothes online, because the more you do that, the more you get people to buy it online. And buying online is kind of better due to COVID. A lot of people are touching clothes or returning them, or touching them and looking at them, and they're just putting them back because they don't think they want them. So I feel like online is definitely a better resource due to COVID, because what are people going to do? What if they are looking at the dress and then they want to put it back? Online is so much better because, yes, people are going to touch the clothes that you're having, but you don't have 1,000 people touching it, and then you're going to get sick from it. So it's a better idea, just order online, get it shipped to you, pick it up in the store, whatever.
Yeah, and one of the major inconveniences can now kind of be, I guess you could say, resolved, or, at least introduced in this way. So, not really introduced, but kind of solved in this way. So it's interesting to see what brands are doing to try to get people to shop online and get people to go on the internet to buy clothes. And it's also on other products, and it's also interesting how these brands kind of try to adapt to it. And
one more thing about Taco Bell, this was actually in 2020, it's a couple years ago. Taco Bell made this really cool location with, I think it was 8 drive-thru lanes.
Yeah, I've heard.
And no dining room. It was just a kitchen on top, and then they would actually lower the food to you.
Yeah, they actually made that during the pandemic years. They made that location, and it was pretty fascinating how it worked and how the whole business operated in there. And I don't know if they're gonna expand it, but
it saves money because there's no dining room, and you also have drive-through, which is better because then you don't have to sit inside and be at a table and worry about every other person who's been on your seat and it's not cleaned or something. You don't need to worry about anything like that, because there is your solution. The Taco Bell, I can't remember where it was. It was very, very interesting.
I think it was in Minnesota or something. Yeah.
But it was a square kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have your drive-through lanes. People would say, "Hey, I want some nacho fries, or I want a chicken quesadilla, or a cheese wrap, or something.
And then they would deliver it to you. Yeah. Yeah, I actually heard of that when it first came out. That test concept was the most innovative one that they tried, actually. Because there were other test concepts being tried, like KFC tried, like, a dual drive-thru where there'd be, like, a mobile pickup lane and a separate ordering lane. And to try to, like, streamline the process, they also introduced, like, pickup in the store. So you'd go in, there's, like, this rack, and you'd pick up your order. But that was by far the most innovative concept that I saw being tried. And maybe it could lead to more locations being formatted like that. I don't know what the future will hold.
They said if it worked out really well, they would add some more locations. But the thing is, it's not going to work out forever.
That's true. They always will have to adapt.
To get people in the habit of doing that, so then they always do it, even after the pandemic. They're trying to just get people into the habit of drive-through and, like, pickup and stuff like that.
Definitely it's cheaper. It's cheaper than operating a dine-in.
There's no dining room.
Yeah, there's no
you also
dine-in.
Have your workers, they need to pay more for them to clean it. You need to pay more for the tables and the furniture. You gotta pay, like, so much more money for a business if they just have a dining room compared to no dining room. It's, like, just so much easier.
Yeah, that's actually a big reason why they're doing this. And that will conclude our segment. And hey, welcome to this special segment of Thinking is Infinite. And today we have a special guest on the podcast, Grace. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Grace. I'm 16, and I also have autism.
Yeah, she is on the spectrum just like me, and she has a lot of topics that she wants to talk about as well. So why don't you take it away and just explain what the topic is for this week?
The topic I have for this week is everyone's favorite Disney movie, Encanto.
I've actually heard of that movie a lot.
I probably butchered the title.
Yeah, Encanto, I've actually heard of that movie. So, if you haven't heard, why don't you explain to the audience what the plot of the movie is?
The plot of the movie is it's about this family, the Madrigals, who live in a magic house in Colombia. All children born in this family have some form of magic power, except Mirabelle.
So she's like the odd one out, and she doesn't really have the capability that everyone else does, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that can kind of relate to some people who kind of feel like they are left out of the general society at large, and ones who are kind of separated from the rest.
Yeah. I actually feel that way too around my mom's side of the family, because I'm the only one on the spectrum there. I have all those people.
That's actually something very interesting. I'm also the only one on the spectrum in my family as well. All of the other ones, they kind of have, some of my other family members, they have, like, their own disorders and stuff. My brother has, like, ADHD and, like, other things, but I'm the only one with autism, so that's actually kind of a thing that I've had to adapt to over the years.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us, I think I've heard, at least, on many groups, that there are a lot of songs in the movie Encanto. So why don't you tell us a little bit about them and what you think about them?
One of my favorite songs, and I bet a lot of people will agree with this, is We Don't Talk About Bruno. Where they completely contradict themselves to sing a whole gang song about the character guy.
That's actually a little kind of an irony, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic that they're talking about not talking about someone.
And you can actually, if you're lucky enough, it might come on the radio.
They actually have it on the radio?
It's the biggest Disney song since Let It Go.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, what about some of the other songs I've heard in the movie?
There's Surface Pressure.
What's that about?
I think it's about, like, one of the characters whose gift is super strength, always having to help the whole town.
Wow.
And she doesn't want to help. She never wanted to help the entire town. the whole town.
Oh, so basically she sings a song about how, like, she doesn't want to be the hero all the time, you know?
Yeah, but it sounds happier than it is. It's kind of contradicting.
Yeah, many people, they'll use that element of, like, contradictory positions.
Just like if we don't talk about Bruno. They're kind of doing that themselves.
Yeah, that's true. They use that a lot in movies. I've actually had an entire film class that kind of goes over that. So, what about some of the other songs? Like, what would you like, if you were to rank them in, like, a list, what of the other songs in the movie would you rank at, like, the bottom, and what would you rank at the top?
The bottom goes to, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Dos Oruguitas.
Was it, like, generic, or was it, like, just not as good as the others?
I don't like songs that sound like that, and also, I can't really, the entire thing's really in Spanish, and I don't really know Spanish. Hence why I said I kind of might butcher the title there.
Yeah, people's tastes in music kind of vary. Like, sometimes it's not even about, like, the qualities of the songs. It's just about, like, I don't like, it's not my thing. You know, it's not my type, I guess you could say, of music.
And the top goes to we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah. Yeah, that one sounds like a really funny song.
Oh, it is. You cannot take it seriously.
Yeah, I feel like that's a film's kind of talent, just to not take itself too seriously. So, Grace, with the movie Encanto, did you overall like the movie, right?
I loved it.
Can you explain what elements of the movie were, like, good elements? What made it such a positive viewing experience, I guess you could say?
Like, all of the colors and characters and relating to Mirabel so much.
Yeah, I actually, this kind of, like, animation style, the whole characters and how they interact with each other, it kind of brings the film to light. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what about the, I think there are, like, 5 other songs, that are kind of in the middle of, like, the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
What would you rank them as? Like, if you were to put every single song on a tier list, and on a list, and rank them all, we already know the top, the bottom, and then the second top. What about all the others? Where do they fit on that spectrum?
This one called, this might be pronounced wrong again, Colombia, Mi Encanto, is at number 7.
So, that one's kind of, like, just above the other one?
Because also entirely in Spanish. But the music sounds happier.
Yeah. So what about number 6?
Number 6 is The Family Madrigal.
Ooh. So wasn't that, like, the song about, you know, how, like, the family magic kind of fades away in the house and they have to, like, solve the problem,
No, wait,
you know?
I put it on the wrong spot.
Oh. Which one do you want that actually in? What's it actually in?
5.
Oh, so what's number 6?
Number 6 is Waiting on a Miracle.
Oh. So it's like, you know, they have to, like, solve the problem quickly. Is that correct?
That is not correct.
Oh.
It's about Mirabel and how she feels left out because her abuela, who doesn't treat her very nice throughout the movie, doesn't like Mirabel just because she doesn't have the power.
Oh, so she kind of is, she's kind of mistreated by her grandmother?
All of them are. But you can't say she's the villain in the movie.
Oh.
There really is none.
Oh. That's actually a very interesting idea, because in real life, I feel like there aren't that many villains or heroes. It's not that simple. It kind of paints it that way, I guess. So we already know, but what is number 4 and number 3? What are those two?
Number 4 is What Else Can I Do?
So, you know, about, like, making a difference in things?
No.
Oh.
This one is about Mirabel. This one's done by Mirabel and her sister, Isabella, who has flower magic. Like, she makes plants grow.
Oh.
And the grandma was being mean to her because she wanted her to be perfect.
Oh.
So it's her, like, in one scene, spoiler alert, she grows a cactus.
Oh.
So she's like, because she thought it was just flowers she could do.
Oh.
And though she had the gift for canonically 16 years.
Oh, so she's like, what else can I do?
Yeah, like, what else can I do with my magic? And she stops being perfect.
That's good. Sometimes imperfections are a good thing. And number 3, we'll just...
Yeah, all of you was number 3.
Oh. So, we've covered all the songs in Encanto. And is there anyone who you would like to give a special shout-out on this podcast?
Yes.
Who?
My new boyfriend, Liam Daly.
Shout out to you. And to you, Liam. And we'll see you on our next segment.
Welcome to the IRL segment.
And we are going to be discussing...
We are in virtual studios.
Virtual. Yeah, because the Jeep isn't really available today, but we do have a little virtual setting. Dad's on a video call.
He's on a video call with us.
And
we're not in the Jeep Cherokee Studios because the gas prices is too high.
Not really, but...
No. But the Jeep is not available today.
Whole episode.
But we do have a virtual/remote studio today. But
yes. So, what'd you guys think of the episode today?
Loved it.
You had fun making it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun. It was kind of a little bit, how do you say it? It was a bit new because we did have a guest star, and we had to go over to the house, plan out what the segment was going to be.
Exactly.
Talk about it all. But I do believe that we can, have more episodes with her, with Grace, hopefully in the future. We can have more episodes with Grace, and we can have her as maybe even a frequent host eventually at some point.
Yep, this is only the first episode with her, so it's not it's not confirmed, she's going to be on every episode. We're going to have to go there. We're probably not going to be able to go to her house every week. You can do that, but...
Well, she could be a guest star, Yeah,
that's true.
Sometimes. And we could even get her on, the same thing we do with you today, where we can just get her on a video call and do that instead of us actually going to her house.
We could definitely do that.
And it's so much easier.
And I love having guests. I love that we incorporated Ryan in episodes.
And now I am a permanent host.
He is a co-host, right?
Co-host,
now we have a threesome that we're doing pretty well with.
Yep.
So, and then we're gonna bring in Grace, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say in the next episode.
That we have her.
Having fun.
Yep.
Well, before the next episode, it will probably be Joseph's birthday, and Joe's turning 16.
So everyone put your birthday wishes in the comment section in the Facebook
Yes,
page.
exactly, Ryan. Great idea.
Okay, this is a bit weird. Okay,
Okay, that's probably going to wrap up our IRL and our podcast and on to the outro.
We'll see ya.
That'll be it for our podcast. Make sure to follow us, and maybe you can even comment on the Facebook page. So that's really it. Make sure to like and share the podcast.
Tune in every week.
Yeah, tune in every week. Leave a good review, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
Bye.